The Calarian warcruiser Infinite Resolve hung in the void like a dying star. Its hull breached in 17 places, atmosphere venting into the cold vacuum. Ambassador Jakar's 3 hearts beat in an erratic pattern as he watched the tactical display. The Vorgothi fleet had them surrounded, 12 dreadnoughts against their single, crippled vessel. "We should surrender," his aide whispered, mandibles clicking nervously. "Perhaps they will show mercy." Jakar knew better. The Vorgothi showed mercy to no one. They were the scourge of the galaxy, a species that lived only to conquer and consume. For 200 years, the Calarian Empire had stood against them. But now, in this remote sector, it seemed their time had finally come to an end. That's when the communication channel crackled to life. "Calarian vessel. This is Captain Jessica Morrison of the Terran expeditionary ship Defiant. We're reading your distress signal. Hang tight, we're coming in." Jakar's translator struggled with the alien words. Terran. He accessed the diplomatic database frantically. Ah yes, humans. The newcomers from a world they called Earth. A species barely a century into spaceflight with only 3 colony worlds and a handful of ships. What could they possibly do against the Vorgothi armada? "Human vessel," Jakar transmitted back, "you must flee. The Vorgothi will destroy you. Your species is too young, too precious to—" "With all due respect, Ambassador," came a different voice, younger, male. "We don't leave people to die. Lieutenant James Chen here. We're vectoring in now." On the tactical display, a single human ship appeared, smaller than even a Calarian frigate. It was absurd. It was suicide. It was, Jakar realized with a sensation he couldn't quite name, remarkably brave. The Defiant didn't slow as it approached. Instead, it accelerated, driving straight into the Vorgothi formation like a spear thrust into flesh. Its weapons, primitive kinetic railguns and fusion missiles, began firing with a ferocity that caught even the Vorgothi off guard. "All power to weapons." Jessica's voice rang out over the open channel. "James, I need you on those targeting computers. Show these bastards what happens when they mess with our friends." "On it, Captain," James responded. Targeting their command ship 3, 2, 1. "Fox 3!" A spread of missiles erupted from the Defiant, weaving through defensive fire with an unpredictability that seemed almost alive. 2 struck home, and the lead Vorgothi dreadnought's shields flickered and died. Jakar watched in stunned silence as the tiny human ship danced between the Vorgothi vessels. Too fast, too unpredictable to target effectively. Every combat doctrine he'd studied said this was impossible. Ships this small couldn't generate enough power for sustained combat. Their crews couldn't withstand such violent maneuvering. And yet, "Jessica, we've got 3 on our 6. James called out, "I see them. Hang on," executing Morrison's folly. The Defiant spun on its axis, continuing its forward momentum while facing backward, and unleashed its full arsenal at the pursuing ships. One exploded outright, another veered away, trailing atmosphere and debris. "That's not standard naval doctrine," Jakar's tactical officer observed, his voice filled with something that might have been awe. "I don't think humans care much for standard," Jakar replied. The battle raged for what felt like hours but was likely only minutes. The human ship should have been destroyed a dozen times over. By every calculation, every probability model, they should have died in the first exchange. But humans, Jakar was learning, didn't operate on probability. They operated on something else entirely. "Calarian vessel, we're going to draw them away from you," Jessica announced. "When we do, I need you to make for the jump point. Don't wait for us. Captain Morrison, you cannot survive alone. Maybe not, but you will. And someone needs to tell the galaxy what happened here today. James, plot us a course through the asteroid field." "Captain, the navigation computer says it's impossible to navigate that field at combat speed." "Then turn the damn computer off and do it manually." A pause. Then, "Yes, ma'am. Plotting course now." What happened next would be debated in Calarian military academies for generations. The Defiant led 9 Vorgothi ships into the asteroid field and somehow, impossibly, navigated through it while the Vorgothi vessels collided, crashed, and were torn apart by tumbling rocks the size of cities. When they emerged on the other side, only the Defiant remained intact. 2 Vorgothi vessels had survived but were so badly damaged they retreated immediately. The human ship limped back to the Infinite Resolve, trailing plasma from a dozen wounds. Its hull was scored black, its weapons exhausted, its shields gone. But it had survived. Calarian vessel, this is Captain Morrison. Sorry about the mess out there. How are you folks doing? Shakar couldn't speak for a moment. When he finally found his voice, it trembled. Captain, what you did, it was impossible. A laugh came across the channel, warm, genuine, exhausted. Yeah, well, humans have a bad habit of doing the impossible. Especially when our friends need us. James, open a channel to command. Let them know we're going to need a tow. Already on it, Captain. As Jakar watched the battered human ship alongside his own, he understood something profound. The galaxy had spent millennia developing doctrines, strategies, and careful calculations of acceptable risk. Humanity had spent that same time learning to tell the universe and its rules to go to hell. In his report to the Calarian High Council, Jakar would write, "Today, I witnessed the birth of legends, not because humans are stronger or smarter or better equipped, but because when every rational calculation says to retreat, to survive, to be reasonable, humans choose to be unreasonable. They choose to stand. They choose to fight. And the universe, it seems, bends to their will rather than the other way around." He closed the report with a recommendation. Formal alliance with humanity, immediately, because the day might come when the galaxy would need someone unreasonable enough to save it.